one of the team has started working already on it. Very impressive and brilliant their writing, So please, the other team, buckle up. Come on.
I need to make Shabana ma'am the host. Now, where do I go?
Thank you for making me the host, Safiya.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. The first thing that I'm going to do is...
Appu, is the recording pause or on? On. Yeah.
Okay. Yay! Can you see what's that, Farhana? Did you like it, Safiya?
Yeah.
She hasn't made anything for me yet, and she made it for you.
My father is here.
I thought as much that would be here only. Okay, so who's this Safiya Ahmad? Safiya, could you ask Dawood Bhai who's this Safiya Ahmad, please?
Shabana ma'am is asking you, Safiya Ahmad.
We have somebody joining the class.
Name Safiya Ahmad.
She left. See, every time we try to catch her, she just runs away, right?
Ma'am asked her to show her video.
I do that, but she doesn't, So she's like Ahmad Kazi. She doesn't like to come on video, right? Come online. We should have become a detective probably, because she gets so scared of us police wala.
Ma'am, today in Shruti ma'am's class, Batul came.
Oh, she didn't know that, right? Okay, guys. Before we start the session, very important. What are y'all doing for the Monday assignment? It's your assessment. Okay, it is going to be your essay. The scores are going to be counted. Okay, so please start working on them. Okay, please start working on it, all of you. And remember, when I say you have to persist virus, it's not coronavirus, the pandemic that's going around. It's the virus from the movie. Yes, and he's a dean, he's a principal of a very prestigious institute, but he's very strict and rigid. And
I don't like him at all. I will not go to the institute.
No. He has to start Golden Sparrow. Okay, so that's how you're going to persuade him. Are we okay with it? Oh my God, how? Yay, so good to see you right at the beginning of the class. Fantastic. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes, tell me, Ahmad.
Do we have to persuade virus or do we like virus?
No, you'll be person. Virus is the name of a person. It's a character in there. If you read about him, you'll come to know how rigid he's, that old school thought, and very, strict. Yeah, he's very strict and not open to new ideas. He believes in rote learning and, anti of what Golden Sparrow is. Okay. So you need to persuade him. Okay. And we've got a brilliant response from this group, Ahmad and Farhana and...
Ma'am, why only him? Why not someone else?
No, I need you to persuade him because he's so rigid and he's so strong, okay? So you need to persuade him, okay, Safiya? Okay, we start with our session. Till that time, Humaira will join us. Okay, here we go.
Ahmad comes.
So the online shopper in you must be intrigued about how a package gets to you from the seller. Well, I'm here in Haryana at Amazon's fulfillment center, and I'm going to show you how a package comes from point A to your doorstep. First, you got to have something to sell, right? Each product comes with a barcode and they are assembled on things called pallets. Each product is matched with a pallet, and that's how the workers keep a track of which product is where. So where I'm standing right now, it's called the receive station, where the products are categorically brought in from the pallets which are spread across according to how the sellers send them. So here the products go through a quality check and then they're taken forward into the next area. We'll get to the packages in a bit. First, check out how the employees start their day. Okay, so this is a routine exercise that all employees have to go through before starting their shift. It's good, man. It's exercise. I like it. Boy, that was intense. Back to the process now. After the security check, the packages are again slotted for storage in multiple levels spread across the facility, while bigger products are stacked in large 6-story shelves like these. So after the process of quality checking is done, the products are then placed in a basket and brought to this storage area, where they are placed not by category or by brand, but by what size they come in. Interesting. So in a way, a bottle of shampoo could be placed with a motorcycle clutch. This is something Amazon finds more convenient. When an order is placed, the associates track down the ordered products in these aisles and then send them for packaging in baskets like these. So after the product is picked up from the shelf, it's then placed on a conveyor belt by the associate, which comes here. This is the packaging station, where, as you can see, this is how it's packaged, and then the associate puts it on the same conveyor belt, which then goes to the next stage. While packaging, the computer tells the associate what kind of package is meant for each product. However, there are times when the packaging might not be as expected, and this is why.
We have about 170 million products on the website, right? There are algorithms which are always designed to identify for a particular size of a shipment what should be the ideal packaging. Where item is looked at as a dimension, we look at the dimension of the item. If that process, for example, there is a defect in that process, which is a very rare occurrence, but it could, then the dimension of the product would be shown differently in a system. And then actually when we are packing it, it will give box size of that dimension.
Later, the packed items are sorted by executives based on standard or express delivery region-wise. Then, all these products are stacked at the dock to be loaded for delivery. So this is the final stage of the whole process, and where a package is finally put into trucks and transported to different parts of the country.
It depends upon where the customer is and where the inventory is, right? So if the sellers are, let's say, it's a Delhi-based seller or a Gurgaon-based seller, and the customer is in Delhi or Gurgaon, then you could get the shipment the same day or the next day, right? Based on location, it will change.
So the next time I order something online, this whole process will run through my mind again. And if there are any delays, I'll have a better idea of what could have gone wrong.
Okay, so I guess you got an idea of how it works, your
Yes.
delivery when you shop online. Yeah. In fact, when I was with the corporate, right, with the corporate field, for my internship, I had to work with, UPS, United Parcel Service. You all have heard of that? DHL, UPS. I think in America, UPS is very famous, right? Yeah. So I had to, for my internship, I was over there. And trust me, it is like, it looks so easy just coming at your doorstep. But trust me, it's not as easy as it looks, it's a tough job, like it's sorting and filtering and, everything that could go wrong. But the way we all would unite and work towards it, it was like fantastic. So when next time onwards you get a delivery at your home, okay, and if it's a bit late or, there's some problem, make sure that you don't have that, anger in you and you're not having, insulting remarks to the person, because remember there's a long back chain going on. All right. So we start with our session today. Anybody wants any inputs? Yeah. Anybody wants to say anything specific today
No.
about what we did last time? Okay, Humaira, I would like to appreciate Humaira because she was the first one to give her assignment about persuasive speech. And yes, of course, Farhana for taking the initiative and going ahead, like, telling everybody, slotting things to everybody who is going to go ahead with what points, right? Okay, so Humaira, I loved it. What points you put in? And I'm looking, Munib, well done. Yes, but I need you to edit a bit more. So the other team, you need to buckle up. Come on, because these guys are going ahead. Ahmad, I'm waiting for your intro speech, and Farhana is ready with her conclusion. Abdullah, I'm waiting for a pointer from your end as well. So put in and go ahead. Remember, you have to make that speech on Monday. Okay, so it's not going to be as if you're just going to talk, right? Give it to me in writing. You're going to make that speech on Monday. Okay, coming to our business studies session. Okay, right? This is where we phrased last time. Am I right?
Yes,
Yeah?
ma'am.
Yes.
We did about the different components of business. Okay. Now tell me one thing. When it comes to business, do you think life skills matter? What
Yes.
are the life skills? What are the life skills that we learn? That you all are learning, in fact.
Like creative thinking,
Okay, creative thinking, fantastic, Abdullah
critical
Saqib.
thinking.
Okay, what else? What else? What life skills? This concept of life skills, where did it come from? Tell me. Anybody? Right? Anybody? Anybody? Yes, it is Dawood Bhai definitely has come up with. Thank you so much. Well, World Health Organization, WHO, they have this number of skills that they believe every child, every teenager, every young person growing up should be
Mindset.
given. Yes, should be given in the school. It's with WHO, World Health Organization, for them to prepare them for the life. Okay, so these are important skills, and you all are learning as well in Golden Sparrow. Okay, so like one of the life skills which Abdullah Saqib says is creative thinking. And where would I use my creative thinking in the business? Tell me. Where do you think I'll use creative thinking in business?
Invention
Find
idea.
a name for the business or to start a business.
Fantastic. Invention idea, how to start the business. Anybody else? Can you tell me? Yes, Mozambique Dabir? Abdullah, yeah, go on, Abdullah.
Product design.
Sorry, Abdullah, I couldn't hear you.
Which brands will you choose or something?
Are you saying something, Abdullah? Sorry, couldn't
Yes.
hear you. Yeah?
Which brand should you choose for your
Yes,
business?
exactly. You can use your creative thinking in brand. You can use your creative thinking when you're talking to people. Okay. Okay. Yes. Another of your life skill is what? Critical thinking. Then you have empathy. Empathy. Do you think empathy is important in business?
No.
No. Empathy is not important in business. Okay. How many of y'all agree with Abdullah Saqib that empathy is not important in business? Oh my God, Ahmed, you too. Oh, well, we have all these brutal boys, Okay, who else?
It's important so that you can take the care of the product you sell to your customer.
Fantastic. You need empathy. We're going to do something like design thinking down the line. Design thinking. That's the very in thing right now. And all the companies, be it a big company, MNCs, huge, all the successful companies are incorporating design thinking. Okay. And now it has been recognized as a course in huge and very esteemed and prestigious universities as well. In design thinking, the first thing is you need to empathize with your customer. Only when you empathize with your customers, you will be able to give them a better product, and definitely you will be able to come up with new ideas and innovations in your product. Okay, so Abdullah Saqib and Ahmad, sorry, we would like you all to empathize as well. Okay, done? Okay, now tell me, self-awareness. Do you think self-awareness, this life skill, is important when it comes to business? Yes, Sophia?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes? Okay, Sophia, why? And how will it help you?
Go to the wrong guide and you just go through something that's right.
Very good. Yes, Munib, you were saying something? Mausam Mutabbir? Sakleen? How do you think self-awareness will help in business?
If you are working in a company, you should be aware of each and everyone with his name, like what is he doing and what is she doing. So you should be aware of each and everyone. Like there are some
Fantastic.
people who just come and work and they are not in your company. So they don't know what is their job. They just come. So you should be aware of what they are, each and everyone, what is his task. Because some people are there, they just come and do nothing, just sit and watch, command people. So that's why you
That
should be
that will come,
aware.
Safiya. That would come in interpersonal. Definitely. What you're saying is perfect. That you should be aware about what's happening. That would come in your interpersonal skill. But when I talk about self-awareness, it's like knowing your own self, and that is very important. You know why? Because you will come to know what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. And when you're starting a business, you have to be practical. You have to be objective as well. Yes, emotions are there, passion is there, definitely the love for your work is there, but on the other hand you need to use not only your heart but even your brains. Okay,
Brain.
and that is the time self-awareness is important, because this will help you to know your shortcomings, and accordingly you will know what line to go for. You will definitely understand that this is the where I have my shortcomings, or these are what my strengths are, and accordingly you will hire people as well. Okay, then you have decision making. Is decision making important?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, because you
Are you
need
sure?
to make.
Decide.
Yes, you need to
Are you
make decisions.
sure?
Ma'am, options will be given to you, but you need to decide which one will be better for you.
Fantastic. Decision making, not only in business, is required everywhere. Remember, these are life skills. I'm just integrating them with your business so that you get a better idea about it. And definitely, you'll make sure that life skills, you're going to get more of them, and you'll make them stronger and sharper so you can be good entrepreneurs. Okay. Now, what about interpersonal relationship?
What do you mean by that?
What you just explained earlier, Safiya, interpersonal, that how you have relationship with others.
Yes, ma'am, it's important.
Yes, ma'am. Good
You should
relation.
know people.
Okay, yes, tell me,
Like good
Ahmad,
friends.
I want you or probably Saklain to tell me about interpersonal relationship.
Like if you are
That,
starting a
is that
business,
life skill important? Is that life skill important?
yes.
And why is it important, Saklain? How will it help you in your business?
Like if you are starting a business and we are seeing that no customers are coming, I mean, no people are seeing, so we should have that.
Okay, yes, Ahmad, would you like to add on to something what he said, Ahmad? Interpersonal, think about it, interpersonal. Your mom praises you quite a lot, Ahmad. You are supposed to be the guy who's like, farming everything and sorting everything, right? So it's very impressive. I think you would
Can
have
I give the
excellent.
answer?
I think, Ahmad, you would have excellent interpersonal skills, how to interpersonal relationship, how to maintain them and handle them. So would you like, yes, Safiya, I'll come to you, Safiya. Ahmad, you would like to say something?
It's really important because, like, everywhere you go, you will need to be able to connect with people.
Okay. Yes, Safiya, you wanted to add something?
That you should know the people really well. So,
Very
like names, like you see this movie Invictus, the it's a movie on Nelson Mandela. He knows each and every team. They had in South Africa before in Nelson Mandela's time that they used to have black and white, lots of distinguishing between black and white people. So
yes.
he wrote all the white people's name and he remembered each and everyone. He called them by names. Like
Yes. That matters, calling each and everyone by name. Fantastic. In fact, forget about human beings. I have my uncle, okay, he's got a goat farm, and each and every goat of his has name, and he recognizes every goat by name. And when he'll call out that name, that particular goat will only come to him. So it's like so fantastic. That I would call interpersonal relationship. Okay. Anyways, Interpersonal relationship is important, and it's there at every level of business. You require interpersonal, whether it's between inside your company, okay, in the company you are with your employees, okay, whether it's with your suppliers, whether it's with your distributors, whether it's with your customers, okay. You need good interpersonal relationships, okay, because remember, at the end of it, for everything, what is most important is the people and people. Okay, you can get place
Put on
anywhere.
throw that papers.
You'll get infrastructure anywhere. You will get any kind of machinery, any raw materials from any place. But good people, very rare to find. Okay, so you should have that kind of relationship with all your employees. Okay, now problem solving, yes, coping with your, okay, effective communication. Do you think effective communication is important?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Promotions and all, they need to have a good communication.
Okay, so tell me one thing. Okay, where's Mazhar Mudabbir? Effective communication, Mazhar Mudabbir.
It is important. So it is important in business so that you can talk with other people and make deals and do business with them.
Okay, so it is important. Okay, all right. Saklain, Ahmad, Munib, what you all think? Is it important? This life skill, is it important? Effective
Yes, ma'am.
communication? Yes, it is important, right?
Ma'am, what communication did you tell?
Yes, Abdullah?
What communication did you tell?
Effective.
Oh, effective communication.
Yeah, communication. See, there's a kind of a communication where you know you can just go on and on and on, right? And there's something. Yes, Farhana.
You need effective communication because you need to make people interested. Like you need to make people get interested in your product so that they buy it.
Okay, fantastic. Very nice. Mazhar Mudabbir, effective communication is important only in business. I need effective
No, ma'am. It's
communication in my
everywhere.
class also.
Even
I
a
want
teacher
you
needs
to talk.
effective
Yes,
communication. ma'am.
Abdullah. Yes,
Even
Abdullah.
a teacher needs effective communication.
Exactly. I want my students to have effective communication. I want you all to talk. You know, whatever is stopping you all, if it's a pure thing, or maybe you don't want to appear like a nerd, or maybe it's like, you know, wherein you have this inhibitions, you know, what will others say? Doesn't matter. I want all of you to talk. All of you, be it Farhana, Amina, Safiya, Abdullah, Mazhar Mudabbir, Muni, everybody, Humaira, Ahmad, everybody. You need to talk. You need to communicate, right? You know, I'm Gujarati, okay, and there's a saying in Gujarati, "Bole tina bol vechai." Till the time you won't say, okay, people won't know. So it's very important that you have good, effective communication. Okay, coping with stress and coping with emotion. Is this important in my business?
Yes, because
Yes, ma'am.
you get
Yes,
stressed.
Amina.
Like let it like you cannot get stressed every time, otherwise you can fail.
Perfect. Anybody else wants to add on to it?
Now what you said, coping.
Coping, that means you're able to handle it well.
Yes, ma'am.
You should be able to handle it, because see, there are times like, you know, you'll be having
Lots
lots
of
of
stress.
yes.
But you need to handle
You
them.
need to handle.
Yes, you're right, Abdullah. Okay, you know, one thing is there. First thing is like, this is my personal thinking, okay, that stress is like, you know, I don't think there's something like a stress kind of thing. It's just the way we handle things, and it's just our outlook towards it. We can have a very positive outlook towards it, okay, and we can handle it in a very mannerly, you know, like timely manner. If I do my time management properly, if I'm sorted properly, if I'm doing things in an order, things will fall in place, okay. There are times when things might go differently from what I want, okay, but that's the best part of me being a dynamic person. You know why? Because I'm going to take it easily and I'm going to go ahead with it. Whatever the life will throw at me in personal life and my professional life, it's all right. I can handle it. Why? Because I'm going to make myself emotionally strong. I'm going to have that kind of mindset. Yes, I can do it. And I'm going to have that kind of circle of friends who are going to help me through it. Okay. So Abdullah Saqib summed it up very well. Everything is very important in business, okay? All the things of your life skills, okay? So now if you could just see, I just made a rough, all right. I just went ahead by mistake. Why is this? Okay. Okay, so if you see, all right, this is a person, right? And how business and life skills are important. The heart, okay, for a person, the body, the mind, the heart, and the soul, right? That's what we are made of, right? As a human. Okay, right. Who's sending me a message? Yes, Abdullah, you can ask me a question. Definitely you can. Okay. Now, please go ahead with your question. Abdullah, do you want to ask in private or in the class? It's perfectly fine. Okay, I'll tell you what that is. Okay, Abdullah's got a very good question. I'll tell you about it. Okay, can I give it to you in the at the end of the session, Abdullah Sadir,
Yeah,
please?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, when we talk about a human being and the life skills, okay, it's a person. It has a body. Okay, it has heart, body, soul. Okay. Now the body would be what? Tell me. I put it over there. I put everything for you all over there. What would be the body? Tell me. Yeah, what is the body? Can you see it over there? What is the body? Is your
Heart.
Brand.
sorry?
Brand.
Brand is the character. That brand is like, you know, what shows it's the character, right? The body
Business purpose.
purpose is your goal. See, there's a football out there,
Legal
right?
body.
Yes, legal body. A business has a legal body. Remember we spoke about legal entity? Perfect. So when you talk about business, the body has to be there. That body would be your legal entity. And that's what we're going to do today, the different types of entities in a business. Okay. Now, secondly, the character, that's the brand of the business, which is very important. If you don't have a good brand, have captures. Nothing will work on the way, correct way. Okay. Then I've shown a football. What is that? That's your goal. That's your vision.
What you
that's
want
your
to become.
business purpose. Like what? Why did you start this business? What was your vision and what is your mission? And the most important part is the heart of the business. That is what? The people. All the people, be it your employees or like I said, the people you're dealing with, okay? It doesn't matter, but people are the heart, the crux of the business. And if you can see a hello on its head, that is nothing but ethics. Okay, so like I said, ethics are very important. There are lots of malpractices happening, but when you do business, you make sure the soul of the business is functioning properly. Yes, Safiya?
Ma'am, what is the
Didn't
meaning
say.
of ethics?
Okay, Amina, tell me, sorry.
What is the meaning of ethics?
Ethics is like wherein you know what is right from what is wrong. Okay, when you have two paths, you take which is the correct path. You do not follow any kind of malpractices. Like for example, okay, you are making a product, okay, and you say I'm giving you 100% cotton. Okay, now a customer is going to believe you in what word you take. But cotton is expensive, okay? Cotton, the raw material, the cotton you'll get, that will work out expensive, okay? So what you do, you take 80% cotton and you add 20% synthetic to it and you sell. But you are selling that shirt saying that it's 100% cotton. You do not put 80% cotton and 20% polyester or synthetic, right? This is malpractice and this is where your ethics will come. Just to increase your profit, right? You are not going to do any kind of malpractice in your business. Because if you're going to add 20% of synthetic, obviously your cost will go down because you're not paying for full 100% cotton, you're paying for 80% of cotton. And like I said, synthetic is cheaper, right? So this is the way malpractices are happening. You know, the corruption, bribery to get a contract. What do? You bribe people. You know, there's lots of corruption. You pull somebody down, you blacklist somebody, you know, using not good methods, you know, incorrect methods. That all will come in ethics. So what is right, you will follow that. What is correct, you will follow that. Like, you know, it's like wherein you know these are the things which are correct, these are the things which are legal. That is what I'm going to do. So is it clear to everybody what ethics are? Right? Okay. And ethics are something, you know, very important in a business. Okay. Like you could say, you know, for us Muslim, it's like, you know, you have your halal and haram, you have your taqwa. You know, it's in that kind. Okay. And it is very important to have your ethics in business. It doesn't matter. At the end of it, these things will count, you know, how you were with your people, how you were with your employees, how you were in dealing with your suppliers, with your traders, how you were in dealing with your customers, you know, what were your ethics, you know, what were your ethics, and what purpose was for you to start your business, what legacy did you leave behind, what good did you do with your business. That is what is going to count at the end. And of course the money is going to come, don't worry about it, the money will definitely come. Okay, so now moving ahead. Okay, any questions, anybody so far? Right? Anybody, any questions so far? Okay, I have somebody asking me something. Just a minute. Okay. MRP is maximum retail price. Okay, that means beyond. Okay, good. You told me, asked me this, Abdullah. We can have another ethic example with MRP. MRP is maximum retail price. Okay, so you have a wholesale price, retail price, which we will go in like in future. I'll talk to you about it. Like for example, I have this particular colors. Okay, now this color set costs 80 rupees. The MRP is maximum retail price. So that means nobody can sell it for more than 80 rupees. Why? Because the maximum price that it can be sold to a customer, consumer is only 80 rupees. But there are people who will sell it for 100 as well. There are people who will do that for maximizing their profit. So now this is again ethically wrong. Like for example, in lockdown, things are not easily available. So instead of selling this for 80, I'll sell it for 100. So do you think this was correct? When it is specified that the MRP is only 80 rupees. No, it's not correct. So again, this is ethically wrong. Okay. Right. Moving ahead. Okay. Now we said, okay, the body of business, right? What is the body of the business? We said it's a legal entity. Remember when we spoke in the beginning, but what a company is all about? So we said it's a legal entity. So when I say a legal entity, what comes to my mind?
Something that is
yes, Amina?
something that is legal.
Very good. That means something that is legal. So Abdullah, one of your question you asked me what black money is. So black money is not legal, okay? It is not at all legal. Yes, tell me. Okay, what else comes to your mind? That means if it is legal, that means you will have to do with the registering it somewhere.
Yes.
Amina, am I right? Okay, Farhana, am I right?
Yes.
So for a company, right? For it to be a legal entity, it has to be registered somewhere. Okay, what else comes to your mind? When I say it's a legal entity.
It's something that is done legally.
Okay, something that is done legally. Just stress a bit on the word
There is
entity.
illegal business also. So,
I know, but we are not talking. See, we spoke about ethics, right? So we're not going
so
to
we
talk
are,
about.
no, I'm saying it is legal business, legal entity.
Okay, legal business. I'm so sorry, Munib. I thought you said illegal business. Okay,
No, I was comparing. I said it was
Yes,
illegal,
yes.
so legal.
Yes, fantastic, Munib. Yes, legal business. We sorted the legal part. We know it is a legal business. We sorted that part. Okay, wherein you know there'll be some, and I'm going to teach you all about how you're going to register with the government and what all registration and certificates are required. That will go step by step. I don't want to jump into it directly right now. I just want you to understand what legal entity means. One is, of course, it is legal. That means it has something to do with the government and there's no cheating and no black marketing and nothing whatsoever. Entity, just entity.
Individual.
Sorry, Farhana?
Individual.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Please go ahead on that thing only. Yes, y'all can join her, y'all can help her. Ahmad, Mazam Mudabbir, Abdullah Saqib, Humaira, come on, everybody. Saklin, think. Entity is individual. So what are we trying to say over here?
Individual
Obligations.
business that has legal rights.
Obligations.
Fantastic. You all are going correctly. Yes, Sakleen.
Independently legal.
Amina, sorry.
It is independent.
Yes. Brilliant. It is independent. Girls are rocking. Come on, boys.
Independent business, ma'am.
Fantastic. Independent business. Sakleen, you were adding something. Go on, Sakleen.
Obligations.
Publications or obligations.
Obligations.
Sorry, your voice.
Obligations. Obligations.
Obligations. Okay. Right. Yes, I would accept that answer, obligations, because I'm going to say that there are certain obligations you need to fulfill to be known as a legal entity. Okay, so we do one thing. I'm sorry, I'm missing out on the chat part. Okay, when I say legal entity, that means a business has its own name. Remember, like Amina and Farhana said, it's an individual, it's an independent thing. Though Sakleen is starting a business, it doesn't matter. Sakleen is different, his business would be different. No, Abdullah, that wouldn't be black money. Abdullah, I'll explain the concept of black money. Okay, don't worry, I'll explain the concept of black money to you. Okay, so even if Sakleen is starting his own, going to NASA business, okay, right? Sakleen's ability. But Sakleen is a separate entity and business would be a separate entity. His company is different and he is different. You got it? They'll have the business will have its own name. The business will have its own address. It's a different thing. You're going to start from your own home. Then you can have your own address given as your personal address, given as a business address. But even entity wise, the addresses will be different. If you're starting from home, it will be your same address, but then also it's a different entity. A business will have its own tax returns. It will file its own taxes to the government. Okay, you will be filing your own, like Sakleen, whatever he's earning from his NASA's ability, okay, Sakleen Ability Center, NASA Ability Center, okay, that as a business, if he's earning say about 1 crore, okay, on that 1 crore from NASA Ability Center, he will be paying taxes to the government. Now, Sakleen is getting some profit and Sakleen is maybe getting some salary from that company.
Ma'am, and the government is also getting profit.
Yes.
Because he's paying it to the government.
Yes, yes, it's paying to the government. Now, Sakleen will be taking a profit percentage, okay, back home. That profit percentage, whatever he's taking back home, suppose Sakleen is taking, let's say, about 10 lakhs, okay, for himself, okay, 10 lakhs. Sakleen, as a person, will pay tax on 10 lakhs. Are you getting me? Sakleen will pay taxes personally on 10 lakhs and Sakleen's business, the NASA Ability Center, will pay taxes on 1 crore. I hope you are aware about this. I hope everything is clear. So this is again a two different entity. They are not the same entity. Okay. And the spookiest part is, even if the person dies, right, the business goes on. Okay, the business entity goes on unless you foreclose it or you close it or it goes into bankruptcy and you have to close it. There are different reasons which we will go into later. So the spooky part is that even if we die, like Dhirubhai Ambani, he's no more with us, but Reliance is going on, isn't it? Right? So the business will continue, even if the person who founded or who started the business passed away, then also. Okay, now what I spoke right now is for the businesses which you are going to start, okay, the company that you are going to start. There is a few exceptions, okay, which I'll show you as we go down the line. So now when I'm going to start the body of my business, the company which I'm going to start, they are going to be of 3 types basically, okay. I'll be having a sole proprietorship, I'll be having a partnership, and I'll have a share company, okay. In that you have different sub companies which we will deal later. Today, only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about sole proprietorship. Okay. Today, I'm just going to talk about sole proprietorship. So when I
What
say
is a proprietorship?
proprietorship is, okay, just a minute. I just missed out on one part. Okay. The person who will be having the business, okay, the person who's going to conduct a business, and entrepreneur, okay. Now, when I say sole proprietorship, what things come to your mind? Tell me.
What does this mean?
Exactly. What does, see, you, if you want to start a company, you can start as a sole proprietor. Sole means one, only. And proprietor is the owner. Okay. So now when I say, if I'm
Only
starting,
one owner.
exactly, it means that it will be only one person will be owning the business. Okay. I'm going to explain to you the different ways you can start your company, your own company. The first way is sole proprietorship. After that, we'll take it more further about the different ways you can start. Okay, so the first way, one is sole proprietorship. When I say sole proprietorship, what do I mean by that is single ownership. Right? Abdullah Saqib says, okay, well, I'm going to start business in fisheries. I don't want Mohammed, my brother, to be a part of the business, to be my partner. Okay, I'm going to do it all by myself. Right? So what this is called sole proprietorship. Right? Now over here, the ownership is only one person. He is the owner. He is the boss. He is the head. Okay. He can hire people. He can hire employees over there, because obviously he will be needing people to work with him. He'll be needing people who will go and get the products, deliver the products. He'll be needing people who will count the white money and the black money, right? Abdullah Saqib. He'll be needing people who would do the admin stuff, who would do client calls and all. So that is a different thing. Those are his employees. But the ownership, the main control is only with one person, and that would be Abdullah. I hope you all are getting what I'm talking about. We will go into details a bit more. Sole proprietorship. Yes, Sakleen. Ahmad, are you okay with it? Are you getting the idea of sole proprietorship? Mazim Mutabbir, right? So like I said, we are just going into the different ways we can start a business, the different types of companies, you know. So the first company would be your sole proprietorship, and I think we will have to end the session now. We can take the other features, the other characteristics of sole proprietorship later. So just a recap of what we did today. Life skills are very important, not only in business, but in all aspects of your life. So please keep on developing them, sharpening them. Okay. Second thing is, we saw what legal entity is. A separate legal entity, that means a company will have its own name, its own address. Okay. It's going to pay its own tax returns, right? And not only that, what did we learn? That even if a person dies, the company can go on for however long, right? Now, then we proceeded to, what did we proceed to? To the fact that, yes, Abdullah, thank you so much. What we proceeded to, the different types of companies which we can start. That the different types of companies, this is existing. And this has been, you know, like, it's a template, it's a pre-described thing by everybody. The first thing is sole proprietorship. So we look into sole proprietorship, then we'll move on to partnership, and then we'll move on to those, you know, companies with shares, and private companies and public companies. Yes, you can do that. Okay. Now, black money is illegal money, Abdullah Saqib, which is not very much like something which is not circulated officially in the market, right?
Ma'am, black money, we can say like the money which we don't own, like we just trade it and we bring it, which owned by someone else, but we like do robbery. Robbery is not our own money. We don't own it. Means we didn't earn it. We took it from someone else, just like this only.
No. That wouldn't be black money. Black money is something which is in the market, okay? But it is not legally circulated. And because of that, the economy of the country goes down. Then if the black money circulating in the market is more, okay, then the economy of that country will go down. So black money is not advisable. Because of that, the economy of the country suffers. Okay, and it is not legally circulated in the markets.
The
Yes,
beggars
Sophia?
also use black money. They don't own it by themselves. Like we had to work to own money, na? The beggars they just ask, "Arey paisa de do." Like that, they just ask. They don't own it by themselves. They will
Okay.
have money, but they don't use it.
Okay.
Like they
Black
hide
money,
it.
yes, black money is not accountable money. Okay, there's no accounting for it. It is circulating in the market. Like, you know, when you're dealing, okay, I'm paying by credit card, I'm paying by cash, you're filing the tax returns and everything. Okay, so now what happens? Suppose 100 rupees. Okay, I'm buying something. I'm buying a flat for say about 1 crore. I'll just take 5 minutes and I'll just go. Okay, I'm buying a flat for 1 crore. Okay, now the person tells me, the builder tells me for 80,000, you pay me 80,000 white, okay, in check and cash, and 80 lakhs you pay in check and cash, and 20 lakhs you just give me in cash, and you give it to me as black money. That means the 80 lakhs will be accountable, will have an accounting, will have a trail that where it came from, where it went, and that 80 lakhs will be charged, you know, the tax income, right? Now this 20 lakhs is something which will have no trail, which will have no accounting to it, okay, and it's illegal. That would be because it has no accounting, it has no trails, it will be considered illegal, right?
And no one will
This is an offense, okay? So people get caught in dealing with black money as well. So I think it's advisable. not
Man,
to-
no one will buy that house unless the person has more money than that.
Okay, so Abdullah Saqib, I hope you got the idea about what is white money, black money, okay? And remember, the economy definitely goes down, so please do not go with black money because it's a legal offense, all right?
Man, there's no such thing as white money, ma'am.
Right, thank you. Yes, white money is something which is legal, so you do have it. Yes,
And
thank
so we
you.
say that's halal.
Black money.
Yes, Humaira?
Illegal money means black money.
Yeah, the money which will be illegally circulated, okay, which has no trail to it, which has no accounting to it, that would be your black money, okay, which is a legal offense, you know, you are not supposed to deal in that, right? So thank you everybody, had a nice session, hope to see you all ready on Monday with your speech. Remember, be there, don't miss out, okay, and I'm really looking forward to you all to rock and roll. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.